He ignored my messages like I was beneath him. Weeks later he was job hunting and suddenly I was important. So I did what any sane person with a tiny bit of pettiness would do. I made sure he remembered exactly who he overlooked. If you've ever wished you could serve cold, poetic justice to someone who brushed you off like you didn't matter, this story is for you. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready for a revenge so subtle it burned. It started with curiosity. Nothing dramatic. I was simply a junior, freshly out of college, just trying to learn more about a company I admired. So I did what any aspiring professional would do. I reached out on LinkedIn to a guy I recognized from my university. He was a senior back then, someone I'd nodded to in passing. Not a friend, not a mentor, but familiar enough to message. All I asked was about the work culture. Something brief, friendly, respectful. And he completely brushed me off. I got one-word answers. Yes. Okay. Sometimes he didn't even bother to respond at all, just read the message and moved on. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling like I was bothering him, like I was asking for too much. You ever message someone and feel small when they make you feel like you don't deserve a reply? That's what it felt like. But I let it go. Figured maybe he was busy. Maybe he didn't like helping people. Maybe I just wasn't important enough to warrant his time. Whatever the reason, it stuck with me. Months passed. I got busy with my own work. Made progress. Met people. Learned fast. One random morning as I scrolled through LinkedIn, his name popped up again. But this time, under a post that read, "Open to new opportunities. Excited for what's next." He was leaving the company. Suddenly, the same guy who once ghosted me was out on the market. And the difference? I now had something he needed. Not much. Just a whisper of an opportunity. Possibility. Enough to shift the balance. And in that moment, I felt something I didn't expect. Power. The kind you get when the person who once dismissed you now needs you. So I messaged him. Just a simple, "Hi." And guess what? Radio. Silence. He saw it. Didn't reply. I sat there, smiling. I waited one day. Not more. Then I followed up with a carefully crafted message. "I see you're leaving X company. I might have an opening." Instantly, boom. The difference was night and day. His reply. Immediate. Enthusiastic. Overflowing. Suddenly I was important. He sent paragraph after paragraph, answering the questions I'd asked months ago. All those vague replies, replaced by glowing praise, inside tips, detailed guidance. He even added a smiling emoji or two, like we were old friends. He wanted to impress me. He wanted in. And here's the thing. He wasn't unemployed. He wasn't desperate. He was just opportunistic. The moment I became useful, he became available. The hypocrisy was so transparent, it was laughable. I sat there, phone in hand, reading his long-winded message. And in my mind I was right back to that moment months ago. Feeling ignored. Unworthy. Except now the roles were reversed. And this wasn't just about petty revenge. This was about a lesson. About boundaries. About not being treated like a backup option. About how people reveal who they really are. Not when they have nothing to gain but when they have everything to lose. So I did what felt right. I hovered over the chat. Clicked the 3 dots. And hit block. No explanation. No final message. No dramatic goodbye. Just silence. Permanent, undeniable, glorious silence. His enthusiastic reply. Left floating in a void, unanswered. He'd opened the door too late. And I walked away feeling something I rarely allow myself to feel. Satisfaction. The story spread more than I expected. Friends liked the post. Some made me laughing. Others called it petty. Few were even upset. He's not jobless. That was cruel. You didn't have to do that. You're being just like him. But I wasn't. Let me be crystal clear. I didn't mock him. I didn't exploit his situation. I just gave him the same silence he once gave me, when I needed help. Why should kindness only flow one way? What changed between my first hi and the second? Only one thing: power. When I had none, I was invisible. When I had a sliver of opportunity, I was valuable. That's the kind of person he was. And I made sure he remembered it. There's a special kind of revenge that doesn't need words. No raised voice. No viral takedown. Just a moment of quiet rejection. A reminder that some doors, once closed, don't reopen. I didn't do it to destroy him. I did it to protect myself. To reclaim a little dignity. And maybe to remind myself that sometimes it's okay to say no to someone who only ever said meh to you. Revenge doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it's in the simplest of actions. Block button. A moment of silence. And the knowledge that the person who once ignored you is now checking their messages wondering, what happened? If that story gave you goosebumps, hit that like button and let us know in the comments. Have you ever turned the tables on someone who underestimated you? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that remind us all. Karma doesn't need to shout. It just needs to show up.